Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. All right, for my friends who haven't seen me when I was at the Yoga Circle from 1985 to 2018, these are the kind of PowerPoint presentations I used to do before classes. Literacy presentation. It's like a TED Talk, except it's more than 17 minutes most of the time. But for today's purpose, we'll scale it down. This is called It's Painful to Be Aware. Yeah, so we're going to start off with Dharma Mudra Chakra. Right one facing towards you, left one facing out. This is the way to spin the wheel of the Dharma. Supposedly, this is the Buddha's hand position as he was sharing the truth of how to overcome suffering. So what did the Buddha have to say about this? Well, when he was asked, what have you gained from meditation? He replied, nothing. However, let me tell you what I've lost. Anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear of old age, and death. What? Yeah, according to the Yoga Sutras, there are 5 kleshas. You could say they're kind of defilements of mind. Ignorance first, not really knowing who we are. Asmita, the sense of separateness that I feel from everyone and everything. And then the raga and devesha, how I'm constantly attracted to and repulsed by things. And then, of course, the intention, the protection is what the ego is all about. The urge to stay alive at any cost. Fear of death and clinging to life. These are the 5 states of consciousness that you have to be aware because they distract you and they prevent you from seeing your deeper identity. So the idea is, can you find one point in this in your mind, like a candle in a windless place, they say in the Bhagavad Gita. Don't work for reward. Work because it's the right thing to do. And when you meditate, you realize that no one who treads the road of right desire ever treads the road of loss. So tame that mind by focusing on it and seeing what happens when your mind is stable, steady, all in one piece, not scattered and distracted all over the place. Now you have to realize how important this whole idea about clinging, holding on versus letting go. Everything in nature is teaching you it's a flow. From Heraclitus on, Pantarei, everything flows. You can't be in the same river for 2 seconds. Right? Everything has to move. Inhale, exhale, up and down, life and death. So they had this story in India that they put a piece of fruit in a gourd. And the opening of the gourd is just big enough for a monkey to pass its hand through, but once it grasps the fruit and it's in a fist, it can't pull it out because the fist is too big. And all the monkey trainer has to do is come over, tap it on the elbow, the hand opens up, and now they capture the monkey. So we stay captive by holding on, by clinging, and all we'd have to do to let go is this, and we're free. Now, it's hard to go back and look at old trauma. Conflict is the beginning of consciousness. Awareness hurts, there's no doubt about it. And at first it's painful to be aware. But going into it, it's like having something abscessed. You want to split it open and see how deep it is, because if you keep it there, it'll just fester. So the inner work, painful as it may be, is a path to freedom, because everyone knows you got to go through it, not around it. Now, if it was easy to do, if it was painless, more people would do it. But it's like a piece of chocolate. Oh, it's so yummy. It's so good to hold on to these things and distract ourselves. So that's the price we pay for our ignorance, for turning the other cheek, for avoiding, for procrastinating, for putting it off. And yes, is it painful? For sure. But after, when you've been through it, it's like labor. Yeah, you're struggling to give birth to something, but then afterwards you're so happy that something new has come to the fore. Now, what I learned from my teacher, who taught me how to live happily and die majestically, was he marked me for life with his brilliance, with his connection to his artistry, with his boundless knowledge of his craft, with his care. He really wants students to learn. So his enthusiasm, his passion, and his compassion for the part of you that's suffering made me feel responsible to taking this up in my own life. Very, very few mentors you can meet who are so rare with dedication that they stay the course and they have a positive effect, not only on themselves and their family, but in the case of my teacher, millions of people around the world, just because of his commitment to practice, by dint of his commitment to practice. So find what you love and put your whole heart and soul into it. That's the basic key. And then if you do that, what happens is You have to go back and do some reclamation work. A lot of people talk about the inner child. I like to talk about the inner teen, another crucial point in almost everybody's growth, where your identity starts breaking away from the pack. You find someone who reflects back to you friendship, meaning, love. You have ideas about how things should be. You see that the emperor has no clothes, and so many of the adults are still in cahoots with the man. And so, of course, the rebel is the one that comes out. And it's a time of major change. The body is changing. Your vocal cords are changing. Your secondary sex characteristic changing. Your peer pressure is changing as you have to deal with driving and drugs and smoking and sex. And what am I going to do after school if I continue to go to school? And I'm not okay about this. Yeah, you got to redeem that teen, because it's still within you. And some of the best parts of you were growing up right there. So can you bring it back and champion all the things that were going on within you at that time? And if you do, maybe you'll change your religion. You have to have a religion that makes sense to you, not one of the three classical religions in the West. So it's not a Presbyterian, but it's a Presbyterian. And the key tenets to religion are DBC, don't be cruel, be kind to anyone, just like ahimsa in yoga. And ASU, I'm all shook up about what's going on in the world. So I'm going to be tender to other people. Because HBH, Heartbreak Hotel, who hasn't lived there? I have. So has Elvis. And in the end, what does it lead to? LMT, Love Me Tender. Yes. Don't be cruel, all shook up, Heartbreak Hotel, Love Me Tender. And if you understand this, you'll be channeling your power. You'll be containing it. You'll be controlling it. You'll be channeling it. Yes, we have all this energy to use for good. And if you learn how to do this, collect it, store it, and get ready to distribute it, then you'll find out that even when you're a Buddha, you don't get out of doing the chores. Never mind about inner peace and happiness. There's a sink full of washing and waiting in the kitchen. Yeah. So, yeah. This is nothing that prevents you from living your life in the trenches, or as they say so cogently and simply in the Zen technique, chop wood, carry water. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you soon. Oh, by the way, shameless marketing. On Tuesday, June 24th, July 1st, July 8th, I'll be out at Tabiyu Yoga in Mundelein teaching a 3-week course on outrage and optimism. And then I'll be giving Dharma talks on the same subject at Try Yoga on July 11th, 18th, and 25th. Free talks, come and check it out with me. And then I'll be giving another conscious aging workshop at Yoga View on July 19th. Check out my website at GabrielHalpern.com. You'll find out all the information. And I'm not asking for forgiveness for shameless marketing. Somebody has to do it. So I'm sharing that with you. I hope I'll see you sometime in the summer.